Welcome to the Paper Machete.
What is the song that starts your show every week?
That's Stranger in the Crowd by Elvis. My friend Tony Mendoza recommended that song to me, and it makes me happy.
Does Elvis play a role in your childhood at all?
No, although I remember being at camp when he died on the toilet in 77. I went to a fine arts center in Lenox, Massachusetts, Belvoir Terrace. Right by Tanglewood, Williamstown, Berkshires. It's a good place, yeah.
Classy.
Yeah, thanks.
At the Annoyance, do you notice a male to female ratio in the classes?
Yes, there are 2 women in my class right now and 15 men. However, at a certain point at the Annoyance, there might have been even more women than men, and Mick Napier worked very, very diligently to kind of bring those numbers up for women. As a matter of fact, he was the one who made Second City's main stage 3 and 3. He was the first guy to ever do that, because when I first started improvising, there was definitely a prototype at Second City. There was like fat guy, tall, acerbic man, pretty woman who wasn't funny and disturbingly unattractive but beautiful in her own special way, hysterical woman. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, and I was like, at the time I remember looking up at the stage and going, oh, I'm not ugly enough to be ugly, and I'm not pretty enough to be pretty, I don't belong here. And then 12 years later, I guess that mold was shot, and I was one of the women left in town. So Mick put me on main stage. So that's my career. Yay.
Can you talk about your decision to stay in Chicago?
Yes. I would not. At the time I got on main stage, I wanted to go back to Los Angeles because my idea of an artistic challenge was to go to LA and create art. You know what I mean? Like do what I do here, but there. And then I got offered main stage, and I had bought a house when house prices were really, really low in Chicago. And I was settled there, and when I got married and then made a baby and then, and then got divorced, I really was not in a socioeconomic position to be able to move to LA. Everything was a lot more expensive. Everything is bankrupt, especially in terms of the educational system. Not that Chicago is doing much, much better, but we sure do try real hard, in our little schools to do the best we can. And I thought it was a more stable upbringing for my kid. I mean, that's pretty much all it. When I go back to LA and I see my friends and I love them, but I feel home here. I mean, this is like power base. This is where you make up stuff for shits and grins, not because it's a showcase, it's a show. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You are known for playing Extremely Blue, which I love and I find to be very appealing.
It's disturbing that it's said like I feel so terrible about that, because I really believe that the Annoyance is an unprotected, uncensored space where you walk in and the comedy is protected. I wouldn't dare do what I do at the Annoyance at I.O., where we're doing group work. As a matter of fact, even when we were doing Children of a Lesser God at 10:30 on a Sunday night, I would say as a disclaimer before the show, Children of a Lesser God in no way represents the teachings and or integrity of I.O. or I.O. West, because I just wanted to let them know we're just digging around here. And at Second City, we're working on social and political satire, and Mick always said that if you want to alienate your audience, you might as well just stand on the lip of the stage and say fuck you, fuck you, fuck you until people leave. And I don't want them to. So I'm very careful about that. I don't think it's my right to say whatever I want to. I think it's kind of my luxury, and that's what the Annoyance says to me. The Annoyance is not a cunty titty theater. I mean, if you want to stand around and say cunty titty for hours, be my guest and we'll protect it and make you look like a genius, but it's not the be all and the end all. It's just such a luxury to be able to say what you want. Especially, we have a swear jar at home, and in the first 2 weeks of Sophia's life, we had collected $94 in 25-cent increments. And I realized at this rate, my kid's not going to state school, So I was like she's doing well. So when I'm in class and when I'm on stage, at least at the Annoyance, I kind of just say what comes out of my mouth and bless their hearts,
Amen.
Amen.
And it seems that you're the exception that proves the rule based on the following that Messing with a Friend has cultivated.
Well,
over
we're
the
not
years.
TJ and Dave, though. I mean, when people come to the Annoyance, you were saying packed houses. I was like, what? When TJ plays with me? You know what I mean? They're packed. I'm just so happy people make the trek to the Annoyance. People go to I.O. not just because, but they'll say something like, oh, it's a Tuesday, we've got some time free, we'll just go there. People still have to make a trip to the Annoyance, so I appreciate anybody who walks in the door. You know what I mean? So if there's 10 people or 110 people, I'm just as thrilled. You know what I mean? I mean, please, 110 is awesome, but 10 is great too.
Are there best shows that you knew were happening as you were performing them? Are you conscious of it in that way?
I'm conscious of how happy I am, and if I'm outside the moment, then something's wrong, and I better get back in there because, you know, you don't have the luxury for that. But there are certain people that I had played with that were so easy to play with that it was frightening. Like I remember reviewing the DVD. You never watch DVD of improv because it's just creepy and bad. But I watched a show of me and Timmy Meadows, and it looked like it was scripted. It was like, this man is such a gentleman. It's like cutting through butter to play with him. And there's a lot of people a bajillion people that I've played with that I was like, wow, you are just amazing. Because I'm inspired by them. I don't know how inspired they are by me. I think the first time they play with me, they tolerate it, and then they go, oh, that didn't kill me, so maybe I'll come back. You know, that kind of thing.
You've never not entertained me. Thank you so much for killing a Saturday.
Shut it. Thank you.
Messing.
Thank you.